Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the fourth video on the web series of how to program in Python. In this video we will be watching at variables, strings and splicing operation on strings. Let's start with the tutorial. Let's start with variables. Variables, as described in other programming languages like C, C++ and Java, they are the names given to the memory locations where we store data, and these names are used to access the data present in that memory location. The interesting thing about variables in Python is that you need not to declare a variable and its type before using it in the program. Based on the type of value that you are assigning to a variable, the interpreter defines the variable type. The variable names must be given based on the rules that are defined as in other programming languages like C, C++ and Java. Let's say, for example, I am creating a variable a and assigning it a value of 9. Then a becomes an integer variable. For example, I am creating another variable b and I am assigning it a value of 4.22. Then it becomes a float variable. There is a predefined function in Python to know the type of a variable. That is, type is the predefined function that exists in Python to check the type of the variable. Let's say, for example, type of a it's integer and the type of b it's float. Like this, you can pretty much assign any variable with any value, and based on the value the variable type is defined. That's a brief introduction to variables and the types of data that can be stored in variables we are going to discuss in further classes. Let's move on to strings. A string is a sequence of characters. There is no such data type like character in Python. Even a single letter is treated as a string in Python. Strings are denoted using either a set of single quotes or a set of double quotes. Whatever you specify within a single quote or double quote is treated as a string. Then the question is when to use single quote and when to use double quotes. Let's say if you have a string like I don't have a pen. In this case it throws an error since it has started with a single quote and ended here itself, but the rest of the thing is not considered as the same string. So let's say if we want to correct it, then we can use double quotes like I don't have a pen, or else we can use another alternative way to correct the syntax error. Let me just copy it. This is done by placing a backslash. We call it as an escaping character. What it does is that it starts with the single quotes and comes till n and treats that this single quote is not the end of the string and it is treated as a normal character or the string in this context. So it prints the entire thing as I don't have a pen. While in actual programs we will be using a function called print with a set of parentheses to print the statements or the strings in the programs. Let's say if we want to print a message, we will be using print and the content will be placed within a double quote or a single quote. Let's say this is how print function is used to print the text or the content that is specified within the function. One thing I wanted to note is that whenever you are printing a directory path in print function, you must be careful. Let me show with an example. The output is not as expected. The reason behind this is, as I said earlier, backslash makes a normal character into literal character or a literal character into normal character. That means it changes the meaning of the character that is followed by that backslash. In this case, upon reaching the backslash and followed by n, that change the meaning of the character n as a new line character. Then if we want to print such a sequence, then we use an option called R. R specifies raw string. It specifies the interpreter that whatever specified in it, print the same thing without any special interpretation. If we see the output, it is now as expected. So keep three things in mind while you are using strings. One is that if we want to print such sequence, then we use an escaping character backslash to print and treat it as a normal character. And the second thing is, in programs we use print function to print pretty much any string or content that is placed in it. And to print sequence like this, we use an option called R, which specifies a raw string. Let's move on to the final topic in this video, that is splicing of strings. Splicing is nothing but extracting a part of the string that we call substring from the original given string. For this purpose, we use the following operator called Splice Operator. The value that is given before the colon specifies the starting letter in the string, and the value that is given after the colon specifies until which character it must extract the string. For example, take the variable a and I am assigning the value 0. Yes, computers count characters from 0, not from 1. So I am starting with 0 and printing up to 2, in the sense it starts with 0 and prints up to 1, that is W, and followed by that E will be printed. This is how splicing is done. The another thing I wanted to mention is that if you forgot to specify the ending value like this, then it defaultly starts with 0 and prints pretty much everything from 0 to till end, because we haven't specified any ending value. Or else in other case, if we forgot to specify the initial value, then it pretty much starts with the first character and prints up to the fourth character. So this is about splicing, and to get individual characters from the string, we simply specify the single value that we require so that we can get the value. Now we have printed from left to right. If we want to get a character from the end, we specify using a negative symbol followed by 1, not 0. From right, count starts from -1, -2, -3 until the start. If we use a of -1, it will print E, the last character in welcome. And we can concatenate two strings using the operator called plus, like how we add two numbers simply type a, the variable a, followed by plus and the string that we want to concatenate with it. This is how concatenation is done. In the similar manner, we can multiply a string to print as many number of times we need. Let's watch with an example. A, the variable a is multiplied 3 times, then it prints welcome 3 times. And one more function I wanted to specify, function len, that is the length. If we want to know the length of any string, for example like this, then the len function returns the number of characters or the letters in that particular string. If we want to know the length of the particular variable a, then we specify a in that, it prints the value 7. That's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Get subscribed and I will continue with the next video.